please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Would the town clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Van Cleek is excused. Councilman Secreto? Councilman Kitchen?
Here.
Councilwoman Hayner? Here. Supervisor Quigley?
Here, thank you very much and welcome to the Town of Ulster Town Board meeting for Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Before I start with the agenda, I would just like to acknowledge that Councilman Secreto's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. And I know that the town clerk did it up big on Facebook, so he was congratulated by many that follow us in the internet world. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? None from the town board. Thank you. Are there any members of the public here tonight who wish to speak about items that appear on our agenda tonight? This is exclusive of the public hearing that we have. Any individuals on the agenda items? Thank you very much. In your package from the town clerk are the town board minutes for the workshop meeting held January 6th. That includes the organizational minutes. And the town board meeting held January 20th, 2022. May I have a motion? May I have a second? January 20th, the year 2022. Okay. Any discussion on the minutes as presented? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I'll read this.
Communications, please.
Yes, I have one letter received on February 9th, 2022 from the New York State Department of Transportation. It reads, "Dear Supervisor Quigley, thank you for your correspondence to the New York State Department of Transportation, NYSDOT, dated June 25th, 2020. That's almost 2 years ago. Regarding a speed study on Route 32 in the town of Ulster. An on-site field investigation was conducted. The existing highway geometrics, adjacent physical conditions on Route 32 are conducive to the statewide 55-mile speed limit. Motorist speeds were recorded and analyzed at 2 different locations. The speeds that were found were in the 85th percentile speeds at 61 and 58 miles per hour respectively. A reduction of the existing speed limit would signify decreased driver compliance and give a false indication of actual traffic speeds to pedestrians utilizing the crosswalk at Route 32 and Main Street. Posting arbitrary and unrealistic speed limits tend to create a socially unacceptable disregard for speed limits. This could become critical on a roadway where a reduced speed limit is necessary. A review of the most recent crash history on this section of highway found a lack of crash pattern associated with the posted statewide 55-mile-per-hour regulatory speed limit. NYSDOT finds that posting a reduced speed limit on this section of Route 32 would not benefit motorists or pedestrians. From Regional Director Lance McMillan, Project Engineer. That concludes communications.
This response was driven by requests from residents who live along Route 32 in the early part of 2020. And they asked for a speed study from the city of Kingston line to the Route 199 overpass by the Rhine Cliff Bridge. So what I will ask our police chief to do is to reinforce compliance with speed signs and radar enforcement as much as possible. And hopefully we can mitigate the issues that cause the citizens to bring these complaints forward. Abstract of claims, please.
I have two two motions to make tonight. We have bills to close out from 2021. I'll do that one first. The prepaid bills totaled $195,126.97. The abstract bills were $82,048.46 for a total of $277,175.43. And I make the motion to close out 2021.
May I have a motion to accept the abstract? Any discussion on the abstract? All those in favor of the abstract for the bills for 2021?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Please proceed with
Yeah.
2022.
We got bills here from February 2022. Prepaid bills, lot $3,467,543.72. Abstract bills were $170,534.63. Escrow account totaled $4,300 for a total of $3,642,378.35. And I make a motion to pass the bills for February 2022.
Any discussion on the abstract for the bills for January 2022? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Secreto. There will be no budget modifications at this meeting. Moving on to new business. The first item on our agenda is a presentation and acceptance of the town clerk's monthly report for the month of January 2022. Is there anything you wish to call to the board's attention that was contained in the monthly report from the town clerk's office? Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the report as presented?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Secreto, as to personnel,
Okay. This is for Detective Division.
no resignation, second item.
I don't, I have that on here. Wait a second. Dear Town Board, I, Justin Sylvester, would like to thank you for the years of employment and enjoyable time spent working for the town of Ulster. I am resigning from my position as water wastewater maintenance worker to pursue a new career with New York State DOT. My last day will be Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Sincerely, Justin Sylvester. I make a motion to accept his resignation.
May I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Before I call for the next item, Chief Berardi, would you explain the next item on the agenda for the town board and the public here tonight?
This was an February 4th police matter meeting. It's part of my capital plan for the police department. There's new car computers. Patrol car has a computer. Next to record management system. Next level will be. Thanks. Computer is 8+ years old. Right now, they're only currently laptops. They are out of stand. Past the useful life.
It should be noted that the sole source contract is directly with the manufacturer and at a cost savings of $28,000 to the town of Ulster over the Office of General Services contract price under the state of New York bid system. So with that, may I have a motion to authorize the purchase of the computers? Any discussion?
None.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item, sir?
Declare surplus on a 2011 Ford Expedition. Attorney's office has expressed interest in
And as I understand it, if you're a passenger, you don't put your foot down too hard, it might go through the floor. May I have a motion to authorize disposal of the vehicle?
I'll make the motion.
All those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
thank you. Personnel,
I'll take this. This
next.
comes from the police department and from the chief of police. Employee's name is Ferdinand Kessick. His title will be Special Assignment to the Detective Division. Department will be police. It comes out of the general fund. It's a full-time position, non-competitive. It's a union position with the PBA. Full-time covered with health insurance. Step 15. Wage will be $36.84 an hour. His start date will be February 7th, 2022. Comes at the request of the Chief Berardi. Chief Berardi would like to recommend the reassignment of Officer Kessick to the Detective Division as special assignment. Officer Kessick has been a member of the Ulster Police since 2005. He has consistently demonstrated hard work and dedication to the department. And I make a motion to move Ferdinand Kessick up in the workforce.
Do I have a second? We have but 2 seconds. Any discussion?
None.
All those in favor? Aye, motion carries.
The other personnel is the employers out of the police department. Employee's name is Ralph W. Leiter. His title will be K9 handler. Department is the police, comes out of the general fund. Full-time position, non-competitive. It's a union, PBA. Health coverage is full. Step 9, wage is $34.47. I don't have a start date though.
It's tentative pending acquired of the dog.
Okay.
Before I call for a vote, Chief Berardi, could you just educate the public here tonight a little bit about what's going on here with the K9 and why are we making these steps that we are?
Our current canine caster is 9 years old. He's rather healthy for his age, but unfortunately, obviously, the police service does take a toll on a dog. So in looking forward, we're looking to acquire a new dog. So canine caster can get as much needed retirement. Sergeant Garville is the current handler. The agreement was when Sergeant Garville got promoted to sergeant, it would be his last opportunity as a handler, and we move on to a new handler.
So it's typical that we give a new dog to a new handler so that they can grow together to learn each other.
Exactly. There is common that one-time handlers do take a second. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't realize you put it up here. I apologize. We're looking to acquire a new, just to repeat for the internet world, we're looking to acquire a new dog. With that is coming a new handler. Sergeant Garville this is his second partner. And he's in the supervisor capacity of his profession. And we're looking to move a dog to uniform officer for better use and less responsibility administratively that Sergeant Garville has now.
Mr. Secreto, did you make a motion on that?
I'll make the motion.
I have a second. Any discussion? And this is only on the promotion. And this is at an determined time for implementation pending approval of the purchase of the dog. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Secreto, on children's summer camp.
Yes, with the discussion with the town board at our caucus, to the delight of many parents, we will be having summer camp. We'll be limiting summer camp to 150 kids, town of Ulster children. All right. We'll run 8 weeks, 8:30 to 3. A lot of parents probably won't get their kid there until 9. Some will be dropping off early. I had the discussion with the rec committee. We're having a meeting on the 24th. And we'll talk about activities that will go on there and the cost. Last year, I think we brought up a cost. I brought up a cost of $540. It will be less than that. More or less, we'll stay in line with a lot of the other town parks and recreation summer programs with their camps. Our camp has always been run good. And I see no reason why we can't have it again this year. But one thing I will bring out, once we start camp, there will be no refunds to the parents that sign their kids up. We don't want the kids going there for 1 week and then decide they don't like it. We're not handing out any refunds. So if you sign your child up, keep them there. All right. We'll be posting on Facebook. We'll be looking for counselors for this camp. I mean, the workforce is hard out there right now. I don't know how many kids want to work. Kids will be getting paid $15 an hour. I think that's pretty good for a high school student right now. Well, further information will come out of our next board meeting. Like I said, we have a meeting on the 24th and we'll try to final everything by then. Thanks.
Any comments from any members of the board?
I just want to point out that it's an 8-week program, but most towns only run.
Most towns are running 6, one's running a 7. And, we're gonna run 8. So, what we normally ran 8 in the past.
So in caucus, I requested that Councilman Secreto, when he completes the meeting on the 24th of February with the rec committee, prepare a memo to bring it back with all the details, including tuition and any other restrictions and regulations that the committee wishes to have imposed on summer camp so that the town board can authorize the kickoff of registration and hiring.
Yes, I'll do that.
And we will move now to the public hearing on the local law allowing members of the town board to participate in town board meetings via video conference from locations outside the town of Ulster boundary lines. During COVID-19, when we were forced to resort to electronic meetings, it was under an executive order that dispensed with the Freedom of Information laws of the state of New York. After that situation resolved itself, the Association of Towns did a review of the legal basis that existed in New York state law and came to the conclusion that there is no legal basis for a town board member to participate in a town board meeting if they are not located within the town boundary lines, but more importantly, not allowed to participate via video conference. So with the review of the town attorney, we looked at the Association of Towns information, and we are proposing a local law to allow members of the town board to participate. And for example, if this law was in effect tonight, Councilman Van Cleek, who is in Kansas right now attending a business meeting, had he joined us via Zoom, he would be recognized as attending the meeting. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have comments you wish to share with the town board in this matter, please come to the podium, state your name, and let's have your comments for the record. Is there anyone in the Zoom environment who wishes to make a comment? Please indicate so. I notice no one coming to the podium and no one indicating on Zoom that they wish to make a comment. All those in favor? Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, public comment will be accepted in a written format at the town clerk's office for up to 30 days from the date of the closing of this public hearing, at which time we will then consider moving forward with the legislation. Thank you. Mr. Petremall, please approach the podium so everybody in the netherworld can hear. The first item for the second page of the agenda is the review and approval of the agreement for expenditures of the highway monies for section 284 of the New York State Highway Law. Can you explain that to us,
So
please?
basically, it's a legal agreement that between the highway superintendent and the town board for the financial backing of projects that throughout the town for the year, for the annual.
So the 284 agreement is in the materials packet. It identifies the streets to be paved, their locations and the length of the pavement. It also identifies the capital acquisition program that the highway superintendent wishes to undertake during the course of 2022. With that, I would accept that the agreement has been presented to the town board. May I have a motion to accept and approve and authorize its signing? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Please note that the agreement is with the town clerk. It is your responsibility. Oh, it's right here. Okay. The second item is a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to purchase two Western Star single axle, two-wheel drive plow truck chassis from Tracy Road Equipment under Onondaga County bid 8996. Could you explain what we're doing here?
This first motion is just for the chassis separately. And it's all part of our capital equipment replacement program.
And why are we buying two at one time?
Because they're about 12 months out for delivery. So we try to replace one truck each year. And we've missed that because of the back orders and the way manufacturers are getting all the parts and components just to make a truck.
May I have a motion to authorize the purchases of the trucks? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The next item on our agenda is a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to purchase two Viking plow and body packages from TNT Sales on an Onondaga County bid 8996. Explain this, please.
This is for the body, the plows, combination body and the plows that'll outfit the two chassis that you've just previously approved. They're separate vendors.
And separate bids.
Yes.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to purchase one 2023 Elgin Whirlwind sweeper from Joe Johnson Equipment under Sourcewell Contract 093021-ELG. Would you explain this one, please?
This purchase is to replace the existing sweeper that we have. That's a 2007. It's starting to incur some costs in the maintenance and parts, and it's basically getting worn out. And before we don't have a sweeper, we want to replace the one we have.
So this is an expected late 2022 delivery,
Yep, hopefully,
hopefully.
pray for that.
May I have a motion? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to purchase one T76 T4 track Bobcat from Clark Equipment under New York State Contract PC 69-396.
This also is part of our capital equipment replacement program. It'll be replacing a unit that's 2011 and be just upgrading our fleet.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the last item for the highway superintendent is a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to go out to bid for full depth recycling and cold planing for the highway department for 2022 and 2023.
This is a process that we use on some roads when we do full depth recycling. This is not a purchase. This is just for companies to give us pricing to do the work if we so choose to do the work.
So basically, they come in, they roto mill the existing pavement and
Yeah.
infuse it with asphalt to regenerate the pavement.
Correct.
And it is a cost savings over and above the replacement of straight blacktop.
Yes.
May I have a motion to
make
accept?
it.
Okay. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those to authorize the highway superintendent to go to bid? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Right, I mean, it looks like we're spending a lot of money, but
We are.
will auction off a lot of
Yes.
excess
Yep.
equipment.
Everything that's being purchased, the older stuff will be getting sold at
Estimated.
auction. I'm hoping to get over $100,000 for all the trucks once they're there. Just getting them when they're gonna get here is the biggest problem.
Would you just recount for those that are here tonight, your conversations about Van Bortle Ford this afternoon?
The water superintendent was looking to get some information on a couple trucks. And he called Van Bortle Ford, who we purchased some chassis from the sewer department also purchased some trucks for. And they're not taking orders on the certain specific trucks that the water superintendent was looking for until 2023. They're not taking any orders.
We are finding this problem throughout town operations. I've authorized the police chief to double up on his ammunition purchases because we cannot get ammunition. And I can go down the list of items that are going to adversely impact the town's operations if we do not make provisions like we're doing tonight, advanced ordering and ordering in increased quantities, because we just don't know what's going on out there in the economy. So thank you, Mr.
Frank,
Peckerman.
Frank, how's our inventory on parts?
Our parts are pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Can Get them now?
Yeah.
Right now? That's good.
There's some things hydraulically that are back ordered, but we've been managing so far. Knock on wood, things have been running along
So
pretty
it looks
good.
like we have to baby things for a little bit.
Yeah, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
the problem. You know, the three
Well-
trucks that we did receive, they sat for 3 months in Kentucky waiting for a chip. The Truck was built, but they were sitting in Kentucky waiting for the chip. So it's just, you know, something has to change drastically.
Thanks,
Thank-
Frank.
Thank you for your support. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. The next item on our agenda comes after the completion of several public hearings. It is a resolution on a special use permit for Mo's Motor Cars LLC, project 862 454 Hurley Avenue, Town of Ulster, section block and lot 48.17-1-41.100. Since this is a very sensitive matter to many people here and on the internet, I am going to read in full the resolution. For your information, the resolution is in the materials packet, which is on the town's website. This is a resolution denying the special permit application and site plan approval for Mo's Motor Cars LLC, 454 Hurley Avenue, section block and lot 48.17-1-41.100. Date February 17th, 2022. Whereas the town board of the town of Ulster is in receipt of a site plan application and special permit application which seeks approval to construct a new automotive sales facility at 454 Hurley Avenue in the town of Ulster. And whereas the applicant has submitted a complete site plan application to the town of Ulster Town Board in coordination with the town of Ulster Planning Board, including the following documents: completed application for site plan amendment review prepared by Mohammed Wahid and Howard Wahid dated 10/25/21. Owner consent form for filing signed by Mohammed Wahid dated 10/25/21. Signed escrow agreement dated 10/25/21. Completed short environmental assessment form dated 10/25/21. 3-page technical memo from Precision Environmental Services, Inc. to Megan Lena, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, Region 3, dated 2/6/2019, titled Tank Closure Report. Untitled, undated sketch plan, single page, showing applicant site and proposed general location of new buildings, parking, and fencing. Site plan map prepared for Mo's Motor Cars LLC, prepared by Bernier and Larios, PC, dated 12/21/21. Ulster County Planning Board memo referral number 2021-220 and 221, dated 12/1/2021. Email memo from Megan Lena, New York State DEC, to Mohammed Wahid regarding spill and spill status at 454 Hurley Avenue, along with New York State DEC spill report form and New York State DEC Petroleum Bulk Storage Program Facility Information Report, both for 454 Hurley Avenue. Email dated 12/22/21 from Joshua Vogt, Rolling Meadows Water Corporation, to Gabby Perea and other town officials outlining interactions with Mohammed Wahid and the status of water service availability to 454 Hurley Avenue. Whereas the board of the town of Ulster has final review and approval authority for this application in coordination with the Town of Ulster Planning Board. And whereas, following a recommendation from the Planning Board, the Town Board initiated the seeker process and declared its intent to be lead agency, referred the application for review to the Ulster County Planning Board, and scheduled a public hearing on the special use application. And whereas the Ulster County Planning Board returned a review memo number 2021-220 and 221 dated 12/1/2021 with comments and recommended modifications on site plan, completeness, parking layout, lighting, tank closure, health department, and access. And whereas pursuant to the Ulster Town Code, automotive sales are a specially permitted use within the OM zoning use district, subject to a special permit of the town board. And whereas by town board resolution, the town board scheduled a public hearing on the special permit application to be held on December 16th, 2021 at 7:10 PM. And said public hearing was held on said date and adjourned to 2 additional dates, which said public hearing was closed on February 3rd, 2022. Whereas at the public hearing held on December 16th, 2021, and continued through February 3rd, 2022, more than 10 members of the public gave testimony in opposition to the special permit application, pointing out, inter alia, that the application did require a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals. The application would change the character of the neighborhood, and pointed out deficiencies in the application site plan. And whereas the town board has considered the special permit application and the site plan application, comments received at the public hearing, written comments submitted during the written comment period, close of town business on February 3rd, 2022, requirements of the town code, as well as other relevant planning, zoning, and environmental information. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board finds that this application is an unlisted under the action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, and makes a negative declaration under SEQR. And this application will not have a potential for significant adverse environmental impact. And be it further resolved, the town board hereby makes following findings as it relates to the special permit application being sought. 1, while the automobile sales use being sought is a specially permitted use within the OM zoning district, the town board must take into consideration the special permit criteria set forth in Town Code 190-41 to 190-47 when rendering its decision on whether or not to grant a special permit. Pursuant to Town Code 190-46, the town board may consider, among other matters or factors which either board may deem material, whether the intensity of the proposed specially permitted use is justified in light of similar uses within the zoning district. 3, the intensity of the use being sought, an automobile sales facility, requires a permanent structure on the property and requires the site to be improved with the necessary parking area to facilitate the required parking for the proposed use, along with the adequate water and sewer connections. 4, that the instant special permit application and site plan application contains no water or sewer connections. The New York State Building Code and the New York State Plumbing Code require a fixed structure on the property with adequate water and sewer connections. There has been a change in the development or proposed development of the properties nearby, in that the property is close to 2 churches and many residential properties. 6, there was opposition that placed into question the need for an automobile sales facility at this location, which is close to 2 churches and many residential properties. And be it further resolved, the town board, upon foregoing findings and pursuant to Town Code 190-41 to 190-47, the town board hereby determines and further finds that based upon the evidence submitted in connection with the application and deduced at the public hearing, number 1, The applicant did not establish that the use will not prevent or substantially impair either the reasonable or orderly use or the reasonable and orderly development of other properties in the neighborhood. Instead, the establishment of an automobile sales facility is not consistent with pending proposals on other nearby properties. The applicant did not establish the reasonable need for an automobile sales facility, and the use has potential to further similar intense use of other properties. 2, the applicant has not established that the disadvantages to the neighborhood from the location of such specially permitted use at the subject property are outweighed by the advantages to be gained either by the neighborhood or the town. 3, that such specially permitted use will not be in harmony with and promote the general purposes, intent of Article 11 of Chapter 190 of the Town Code. The applicant did not propose the construction of a fixed building structure on the property, nor did the application propose a bathroom, water line, or sewer connection on the property. This failure is in violation of the state code and poses a public safety risk. And be it further resolved that based upon the foregoing, the town board of the town of Ulster hereby denies the special permit and the site plan application of Mo's Motor Cars LLC. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is hereby authorized to forward a certified copy of this resolution to the town of Ulster Building Planning Zoning Department and to the applicant or his agent. And further resolved that all town departments may review and obtain a copy of this resolution from the electronic storage device, and if needed, a certified copy of same may be obtained from the office of the town clerk. Ladies and gentlemen, this resolution is again in the package. It's available in writing if you wish to review it. I ask for a motion to accept the resolution as presented.
I'll make it.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
Yes on the resolution. Thank you. The next item on our agenda tonight is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the letter agreement between the town of Ulster and Beacon Communities Corporation regarding transfer of partnership interest in properties developed by Birches Associates LLC and Stephen Aaron, and modification of the pilot agreements. And before I call for a motion, the properties developed by Mr. Aaron and his companies that include the 2 properties in the town of Ulster, the one in the city of Kingston, the one in the town of Esopus, and the one in the town of Saugerties, are under contract by the trust fund that owns the general partner's interest in those properties to Beacon Properties. Beacon's Communities is a nationwide developer and owner of senior citizen housing and owns between 10 and 15,000 units nationwide. They are a professionally run organization. The town of Ulster, because it was the first location for Mr. Aaron's development in 2003, assisted in the formation of the general partnership through its consent as an Article 5 corporation under the Public Housing Finance Law. Under Article 5, the town of Ulster has certain approval rights that relate to the substitution of general partners and the sale of said properties. Tonight's resolution authorizes me, the supervisor, to sign the letter agreement that conveys to the purchaser the town's consent for the transfer. Now, you may ask, what do we receive in exchange for our consent? If you recall, in 2008, I personally sued the town of Ulster for the pilot agreement that was put in place at $100 a unit. That pilot payment is currently approximately $150 a unit. Projects that were developed subsequent to Mr. Aaron's project started out paying pilot payments of $400 a unit and escalated accordingly. Beacon is undertaking a promise to the town of Ulster and the other 2 communities that are included in this letter to review the economics of the three projects after they gain control and have operating experience. And they have expressed an intent to increase the pilot agreements to a per unit price of $450. So in this matter, the town of Ulster is receiving substantial consideration for its approval of the transaction. With that being said, I ask for a motion from the town board to accept the resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the letter agreement.
I'll make it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. In January of this year, United States Treasury Department issued final regulations on the use of the ARPA Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund monies, under which the town of Ulster received approximately $1.3 million. Under the new regulations, there is a safe harbor provision allowing a municipality to designate as lost revenue from COVID up to $10 million or the actual amount of the monies that they received under the program. Tonight, I present a resolution to the town board asking that the town board appropriate $85,000 from the ARPA aid as lost revenue to the general fund. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next resolution reflects the use of the $85,000. And under the final regulations, it allows a municipality to support the fire services that provide service to its community. I believe it's only appropriate, and the town board has expressed their feelings also that after this horrendous ice storm that we had, where the volunteer firemen, along with our highway and police department, bore the brunt of the responses to the citizens in this community, that we make contributions to the fire services for extreme expenses. And we are going to appropriate in this appropriate resolution $30,000 to the Ulster 5th District Board of Commissioners, $15,000 to the Ulster 1st District, which is Spring Lake, to the Board of Commissioners. To the Ruby Fire District, $15,000 to the Board of Commissioners. $15,000 to the town board in its role as the Board of Commissioners for the Eddyville Fire Protection District. And $10,000 to the Bloomington Fire Company for the Eddyville Fire Protection Area, and that will be made to their Board of Commissioners. We are providing it to the Board of Commissioners so that that body can make a judgment decision as to how to best use the monies within the departments, whether it be for additional equipment, supplies, paraphernalia. It is their decision. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to ask for a motion to accept this resolution to appropriate funds from the general fund for the town of Ulster Fire Services.
I'll make it.
Any discussion on the resolution? Mr. Kitchen? Thank you.
I personally want to thank all the departments, town of Ulster departments, and all the fire companies for your help out there during this. I know there were some people that were out of power for 4 days. So thanks, guys.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is a motion to schedule a public hearing for a special use application for an apartment on non-residential property for Easy HVAC Apartment, Project 870, 2016 Ulster Avenue, Lake Katrine, Section Block and Lot 39.16-1-32 for Thursday, March 3rd, 2022, at 7:10 PM.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our last two items before we move on to public comment. Under old business, it's a motion to authorize the payment of $18,200 for payment application number 3, which is the final payment on contract TU 212, the furnishing of the influent screening equipment for the Ulster wastewater treatment plant. I believe the proud papa of this project has some pictures to present. Mr. Majori, would you stand up and just tell us what this project was all about and how it was carried out?
Yeah, so this project is to address the debris that gets flushed down toilets and it wreaks havoc on the sewer plant. It clogs pumps, it clogs up tanks, it clogs up digesters. It's a problem throughout the whole system, the collection system as well, that we go out weekly and deal with. But this unit addresses it once it gets into the plant. And what we're looking at here on this screen, can we zoom in anymore? So that's the screenings coming up the chute for disposal. You can keep flipping through them and I'll just. So this unit got installed in-house by all of the staff at the wastewater treatment plant. It was a big project, but came out really well. Didn't,
Can we change pictures?
So this project was a special design by this company. They've had like 2 other similar designs throughout the country. We have a very small footprint to work in, and it's very deep in elevation. As you can see on this picture, that's okay. So this picture here, you can see the chute, and that's where it comes out towards the door of the building, and the debris has to get lifted up that chute for disposal purpose. And you can see the height that it's being lifted. That's 23 feet from the discharge screw conveyor, which should be coming up. So that's the screw conveyor where it connects to the chute. And that's inside the compactor that drives the material up the chute. So in that process, it chops it all up, washes it out, and then compacts it as it goes up and out. This is the raking system that actually combs the material out of the waste stream so that it can be washed and compacted and brought up for disposal. And this is the bagging system in the trash can that captures it so that we can contain it and haul it to the landfill for disposal in the garbage. Because that's what it is. It's garbage that people flush down the toilets. So this final payment, $18,200, is the last payment for this project, and this is the project completed and up and running well.
So for the record, this project was estimated by our engineering report in 2019 to, I think,
650,000 roughly.
Right. We purchased the equipment directly from the manufacturer for a little less than 200,000.
Yep.
And we used in-house labor and subcontractors for specialty work to install it. Now, you've seen the pictures there. In the old days, that was all manual work.
Yeah.
It was raked out manually and then lifted up in buckets every morning and
Mhm.
every afternoon. So we have now cut down on the manual labor and the potential for injuries of a town worker in confined space.
Yep, and this project was 100% in-house labor. There was no subcontractors.
For electrical? You did
for
the electrical
nothing.
in-house? Okay,
Everything was done in-house.
thank you.
Yep.
And I want to commend the sewer department, Mr. Majori, and the employees of the sewer department for undertaking this project. It is beneficial to the town. So may I have a motion to authorize the final payment? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Last item on our scheduled agenda is a resolution adopting local law number blank of 2022 to modify the section of the town zoning code, a local law known and cited as parkland and recreation fees.
I'll make a motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Couple of points I want to make before I go to opening the floor for public comment. Supervisors Association had a meeting on Tuesday of this week with the county where we were advised that while Ulster County may have met the threshold for losses due to the ice storm from FEMA that would qualify for reimbursement under FEMA, New York State as a whole did not meet the threshold of $35 million. And therefore, the expenses that the towns incurred are on the town's dime. So we are carefully keeping track of those expenses to hopefully understand better what they are. And perhaps some program can open up from the state in the near future. If you take a look at the storm's path, it exclusively hit Ulster County. And basically it hit exclusively 5 or 6 towns in the center of Ulster County. So it did not hit Denning, Hardenburg, Shandaken did not get hit hard. And consequently, Plattekill, Schwangum, Gardner did not get hit hard. So it was a very concentrated storm and we are going to feel the effects of that. The second action, the second issue that I want to inform the town of is that there is a initiative underway in the Magistrates Association to consolidate night court at the Ulster County Law Enforcement Center to provide people the opportunity to get arraigned quickly. At the present time, when a local jurisdiction makes an arrest, they usually have to call the judge in the middle of the night, get the judge out of bed and get the judge into the chambers to conduct an arraignment. Since criminal reform has taken place, they now have to bring the district attorney in and a lawyer to represent the defendant. So now you have 3 people who have to show up in the middle of the night, and it has been turning out to be a very big hardship on the police who have to wait around, the defendant who has to wait around, and those who show up and have to wait around for those who usually end up not showing up. What they're proposing to do is to schedule a judge to be in chambers in the sheriff's facility on the boulevard, along with a public defender and a district attorney and a court clerk, and the police departments from the various jurisdictions around the town are going to be required to transport their prisoners to the jail for adjudication. So that is something that is going on that is going to impact our justice system. And the last item that I want to announce to the community is that Tuesday night, February 15th, the Ulster County Legislature adopted resolution number 31, which appropriated $2 million for the town of Ulster to provide and fund water and sewer infrastructure investments to the area west of the New York State Thruway. This is designed to provide public water and sewer to a proposed RUPCO development at the Quality Inn site. I ask everyone, if they're interested in this, please monitor the Town of Ulster Planning Board's agendas, as RUPCO will be appearing on the agendas here shortly. With that, I have concluded the business for tonight. I will open the floor to anyone who wishes to come to the mic and express or make any statement that they wish to the Town of Ulster Town Board. Anyone? Chief Cranston,
Ex-chief.
you will always be a chief in my book.
Good evening. John Cranston, I'm not here as a representative of Spring Lake Fire Department. I'm here as a representative of me. As part of the volunteer fire department, I was one of the people who was out during the ice storm. And I would like to put in, I don't know, like, thanks don't even come close to what I feel towards the other people who were there. The town did themselves proud. The police department, the highway department, when we needed them, they were there. The times I was not out on calls, I was listening to the scanner. And one of the things that struck me is the same voices, particularly listening to the police, the same voices were there. It seemed like from like 5 o'clock in the morning until God knows when at night. So I don't know what kind of shifts they worked, but whatever it was a tremendous amount of time. And never in all of that was there any break in the professionalism. There was no cussing and swearing, no, another crap phone, whatever it might be. It was professional from the get-go. The times we were out trying to get roads open or try to find open roads to get where we needed to be. It was amazing how many times I met a town truck who was out with using plows to get the debris out of the road so we could get through. And again, smile, thanks. It was an amazing demonstration of how the personnel of the town did themselves and did the town proud. And I would just like to personally say thank you to all of them, the ones who were here and obviously the ones who are out working. Thank you.
Any other individuals here tonight? Mr. Rocco. Go ahead, Mr. Rocco.
Hi, Gus Hoff, Commissioner with the Ruby Fire District. And as the other commissioners here tonight, they all know that managing the budgets of the local fire, volunteer fire companies is a tough duty. And when COVID comes or fires come or storms come, the budgets don't change. So it puts undue pressure on the fire district. So I'm just here to speak on behalf of our fire company and the others that we're very appreciative of the money that you're putting out to support the local volunteer fire companies. Thank you.
Rocco. Sorry, Tom, we'll keep you out late.
Excuse me, Jim Bracco, Chairman of the Board, also Fifth Fire District. Again, thank you very much. We appreciate the money. Our guys did a super job along with the rest of the departments in the town. And I've said to the gentleman, I said to our firemen, we thank you very much. They were there. They went out, they cleared the roads along with the town and the police department helping. We thank you very, very much.
Any other individuals here tonight, sir?
Pat Van Wagenen, Assistant Chief, East Kingston Fire Department. To touch on what everybody else said too, we just wanted to show our appreciation. We had a lot of people out between Central Hudson, the town of Ulster, helping with barricades. Everything was just, it worked out really well. We had a lot of guys out and, couldn't do it without the town of Ulster. So we appreciate everything and thank you very much for the money.
Thank you. Mr. Keller? I should say Chief Keller, because you were also chief.
Past chief, but thank you.
No, you're always a chief.
Kevin Keller, Commissioner, Bloomington Fire District. And as Supervisor pointed out, past chief of the Bloomington Fire Company. On behalf of the district, the fire company, and all the members, we sincerely appreciate this gesture of goodwill and this funds that you've made available to us. I can tell you that I've never seen something like this done in the past, and I've been doing this for over 40 years. So a heartfelt thank you to the town for recognizing the work that went into cleaning up after that storm and maintaining safety for our residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, there's been considerable amount of discussion about those that we saw on the front line. But I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Mr. Majori in the sewer department and Mr. Rose in the water department. Because throughout the storm, They manned the facilities that the people didn't see. And the water kept coming and everything else kept going the other way without missing a beat. We did not have any adverse breakages. We did not have any service interruptions, and we did not have any adverse discharges because of our facilities in the treatment area going down. So I recognize Mr. Rose in the Water Department and Mr. Majori in the Sewer Department for their efforts during the storm, because that was also challenging to them, as many of our facilities suffered from electric outages, and they were forced to transport the portable generators from site to site to refill the water tanks and to keep the sewer plants running in Whittier. So thank you. Are there any other individuals here tonight who wish to make a public comment on any topic? Anyone online who wishes to make a comment? I see no one. I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. I have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight. We will see you on March 3rd for the workshop meeting of the Town of Ulster.